जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी शोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन शोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. We are going to recite a verse from the second canto, third chapter, 24th verse. Tadashmasaram hridayam vatedam yadgrihyamaanair harinamadheyaihi na vikriyetath yada vikaro नेत्रे जलं गात्र रुहेषु हर्षः तदश्मसारं हृदयं वतेदं यद्गृह्यमाणैर्हरिनामधेयैः न विक्रियेतात यदा विकारो नेत्रे jalam gatra ruheshu harshaha. Generally when you recite, after 2-3 times reciting to memorize the verse, you can recite the same verse speedily. Tadashmasaram hridayam batedam yadgrihyamanair harinamadheyaihi na vikriyetatha yada vikaro netre jalam gatra ruheshu harshaha. So in memorizing the shlokas, after a few times of reciting with full clarity, then when you speedily recite, it will quickly go into your mind. You'll be able to memorize it very easily. So okay, let all Prabhujis recite together. Tadashmasaram hridayam batedam yadgrihyamanair harinamadheyaihi na vikriyetata yada vikaro netre jalam gatra ruheshu harshaha. All Matas together. Certainly that heart is steel framed, which, in spite of one's chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration, does not change even when one displays such signs of transformation as tears in the eyes and ecstatic standing of the hairs on end. So in this purport, it's a very, very long purport it is. I will just show you one important portion of this purport. See, the whole process of spiritual culture is aimed at changing the heart of the living being in the matter of his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord as subordinate servant, which is his eternal constitutional position. So, with the progress of devotional service, the reaction of change in the heart is exhibited by gradual detachment from the sense of material enjoyment, by a false sense of lording it over the world, and an increase in the attitude of rendering loving service to the Lord. Vidhi Bhakti, or regulated devotional service by the limbs of the body, namely eyes, ears, nose, hands and legs, as already explained before, is now stressed herein in relation to the mind, which is the impetus for all activities of the limbs of the body. It is expected by all means that by discharging regulated devotional service, one must manifest the change of heart. If there is no such change, the heart must be considered steel-framed, for it is not melted even when there is chanting of the holy name of the Lord. We must always remember that hearing and chanting are the basic principles of discharging devotional duties, and if they are properly performed, there will follow the reactional ecstasy with signs of tears in the eyes and standing of the hairs on the body. These are natural consequences and are preliminary symptoms of the bhava stage, which occurs before one reaches the perfectional stage of prema, love of Godhead. If the reaction does not take place, even after continuous hearing and chanting of the holy name of the Lord, it may be considered to be due to offenses only. That is the opinion of the Sandarbha. In the beginning of chanting of the holy name of the Lord, if the devotee has not been very careful about avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses at the feet of the holy name, certainly the reaction of feelings of separation will not be visible by tears in the eyes and standing of the hair on end. The bhava stage is manifested by 8 transcendental symptoms, namely inertness, perspiration, standing of hairs on end, failing of the voice, trembling, paleness of the body, tears in the eyes, and finally trance. The Nectar of Devotion is a summary study of the Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhakti-Rasamrita explains those symptoms and vividly describes other transcendental developments both in steady and accelerating manifestations. Srila Vishwachandra Thakur has very critically discussed all these bhava displays in connection with some unscrupulous neophytes imitating the above symptoms for cheap appreciation. Not only Vishwachandra Thakur but also Srila Rupa Goswami has treated them very critically. Sometimes all the above 8 symptoms of ecstasy are imitated by mundane devotees, prakrita sahajas. But the pseudo symptoms are at once detected when one sees the pseudo devotee addicted to so many forbidden things. Even though decorated with the signs of a devotee, a person addicted to smoking, drinking, or the illegitimate sex with women cannot have all the above mentioned ecstatic symptoms. But it is seen that sometimes these symptoms are willfully imitated, and for this reason, Sri Vishwanath Thakur accuses the imitators of being stone-hearted men. They are sometimes even affected by the reflection of such transcendental symptoms, yet if they still do not give up forbidden habits, then they are hopeless cases for transcendental realization. When Lord Chaitanya met Sri Ramanandrai of Kovur in the bank of Godavari, the Lord developed all these symptoms, but because of the presence of some neophyte Brahmanas who were attendants of the Rai, Lord suppressed these symptoms. So sometimes they are not visible even in the body of first-class devotee for certain circumstantial reasons. Therefore, real steady bhav is definitely displayed in the matter of cessation of material desires, kshanti, utilization of every moment in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, abhyartha kalatvam, eagerness for glorifying the Lord constantly, nama gane sadaruchi, attraction for living in the land of the Lord, pritistad vastistale, complete detachment from material happiness, virakti, and pridelessness, manashunyata. One who has developed all these 9 transcendental qualities is really possessed of the bhava stage as distinguished from the stone-hearted imitator or mundane devotee. The whole process can be summarized as follows. The advanced devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord in a perfectly offenseless manner and is friendly to everyone can actually relish the transcendental taste of glorifying the Lord. And the result of such realization is reflected in the cessation of all material desires as mentioned above. The neophytes, due to their being in the lower stage of devotional service, are invariably envious, so much so that they invent their own ways and means of devotional regulations without following the acharyas. As such, even if they make a show of constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord, they cannot relish the transcendental taste of the holy name. Therefore, the show of tears in the eyes, trembling, perspiration, unconsciousness, etc. is condemned. They can, however, get in touch with the pure devotee of the Lord and rectify their bad habits. Otherwise, they shall continue to be stone-hearted and unfit for any treatment. A complete progressive march on the return path home back to Godhead will depend on the instructions of the revealed scriptures directed by a realized devotee. So I'll tell you the essence of this verse in case you missed out hearing the whole purport. Generally, if you have come to stage of first initiation and second initiation, one has to be very alert in hearing the purports when it is being read. For those who are senior devotees, when we do Srimad Bhagavatam study circle, we read the purport quite fast. Because some of the purports are very long, it is expected that their mind hooks onto the purport and they hear every word of it. So when we hear, then only it will sink in the heart. Like right now I read the purport. After reading, you close the book, we should be able to summarize it. Like once I asked, anybody can tell me the summary? They said, Prabhuji, you should have told it in the beginning. They said, you are asking at the end. But it should be assumed that any time something is being read, others are supposed to also hear. So in our reading groups, what we did was, we tell different devotees to read, and anybody who reads, they will be told to summarize. And after we did that, everybody became attentive because they wanted to know when is my turn going to come. If they keep quiet, people will ask, hey, your turn, why are you not reading? And they should know what to read also. So they became really attentive. And because they have to summarize, they became all the more alert. So this is one of the best ways to keep people alert during the reading program also. So in summary, what Prabhupada says, all of you know the famous song, Gauranga bolite have pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite nayane bhave nira Gauranga bolite have pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite nayane bhave nira. I got a good Mridang player today. But, so, you see, when you say, all of you say, Gauranga, Immediately there should be tears in the end of the eyes. Hari, Hari. He says, Gauranga bolete pulaka. So when you say Gauranga, the hair should stand on it. When you say Hari, Hari, tears should develop in the eyes. If these two symptoms are not coming, our chanting is offensive, like the Prabhupada says. So he says that that heart is considered steel-framed if it is not responding or reacting to the chanting of the holy name. Now we all bring our body to the temple when we come for chanting. We bring our lips also for chanting. Only we refuse to bring the mind. So we have to bring the mind also, because mind is the leader of the senses. Mind being leader, the leader should be brought also, not only the servants. Because you know the cow-calf principle. Cow-calf principle is wherever cow goes, the calves will go also there. So if you simply bring the senses and you don't bring the mind, wherever the mind goes, eventually the senses also will go in that direction. They will say that our leader is not coming, so they will also go eventually. Although you may begin bringing the body, people bring the body to the temple, but they roam around in the temple, they don't sit and chant because their bodily senses are running behind whom? Mind. Who is the leader of the senses. Therefore Prabhupada is saying that if one is bringing the mind to the chanting, then, and also one should attentively chant, then this kind of reactions will be produced. The heart transformation will take place. And when the heart is transformed, then there will be tears in the eyes and hair standing on it. That's the first point he made. Second point he said, there are also prakrita sahajyas who manifest tears in the eyes and hair standing on it, and they roll in the ground and all. In Vrindavan, some fellow came from outside, he was rolling in the temple hall, and all devotees surrounded him in the temple hall. They were wondering, oh, looks like some Mahabhagavat or somebody. So they immediately went up to Prabhupada's quarters and said, Prabhupada, one fellow is rolling on the ground. Prabhupada said, call the watchman. He said, Prabhupada, what should we tell the watchman to take us? We can give him a good beating. And if he will get up and run away. Or if he protests, you can immediately know that he is a fake. And if he is a real devotee, even after beating, there will be no reaction in him. So, and we can check whether he is a pure devotee or not. So the watchman came with the stick. Before he got the beating, he ran away. That fellow got up and ran away. He was just making a show of his devotion. So these are called prakrita sahajyas, cheaters. So Prabhupada never entertained this. Because tears in the eyes and hair standing on end can be imitated even by cinema actresses, actors and all. They put some glycerin and they can cry. So therefore, there are 9 symptoms Prabhupada mentions that. Kshantiravyatta kalatvam viraktirmana shunyata asha bandha samutkanta nama gane sada ruchi asaktistat gunakyane pritistat pastistale. These are the 9 which was explained in the purport. And then he says that these 9 one should manifest. Then one can say one is in bhava, he says. Otherwise, those who imitate it, they are called prakrita sahajyas. So Prabhupada is condemning them. So that is the main thing in the purport. And then he goes on to say that Srila Rupa Goswami has taught all these things and we should. So that is why this, we will continue where we left yesterday. When we talk about holy heart, it is not just externally clean but internally pure, free from anarthas. So, the holy name, why this is the goal of a sincere devotee? The Lord manifests in the heart of a clean devotee. Why we want to clean the heart? Because only then Lord will manifest. We discussed this thing yesterday. Temple is holy because of cleansing. So must be our heart. Even though we may not be pure enough, Lord is ready to wait for us to gradually grow so that He can occupy our heart. Arjuna asked a question. Ayate shraddhayo peto yoga chalita manasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kangatim Krishna gacchati. He asked. He said, yoga chalita manasaha means somebody came to Krishna consciousness. After some time they found it difficult due to their schedules or lifestyle and material desires lurking in their hearts. They went away. So will he become like a riven cloud, Krishna? He asked. Krishna said, Parthanaiveganamatra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana kritkaschit durgatim tat agacchati. My dear Arjun, how do you think my devotee will ever get misled or gone away? One who performs auspicious activity will never be lost. I am always there to protect their devotion. And then he said, they will again come back to devotion service. Like wherever they left, they will continue from there. And they will continue. The only thing is, if we don't cleanse the heart in this lifetime, we will have to be born again. And then we have to gradually progress in many lifetimes. But if one takes to Krishna consciousness very seriously, Prabhupada called it as a one-stroke method, which means 16 rounds chanting and 4 legs strictly following. And then eventually we have to check whether our heart is transforming. How do you know our heart is transforming? We can look at the quality of our desires. What was the quality of desires 10 years ago? And how is my quality of desires now? What were my tastes at that time? What are my tastes now? And how was my time occupied from morning to night at that time? How is my time occupied now? We can check it. And whether, the material taste is still continuing, are we chasing after food and entertainment and materialistic pursuits, or is my mind more inclined towards Krishna consciousness, devotees and towards services and everything. So we have to check the quality of our activities, quality of our desires, our tastes and our consciousness and our lifestyle and what are some of our engagements during the day. We can check all these things. Actually speaking, with the advancing devotee, even though a devotee may look like a karmi externally wearing pant, shirt or sari or anything, when they go to office also, somebody can be very, very Krishna conscious even while working in a factory or something. They can be very, very Krishna conscious. I know people who work in a company or something, they wear pant, shirt externally, but they're complete Vaishnava. You see them more as a Vaishnava than you are a man working in the office. Like when I see Dwarkadish Prabhu or Vishwarup Prabhu and all these people, their relish is more, their heart is more in Vrindavan than being a doctor or something like that. Our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said about Murari Gupta, if anybody calls him a mere doctor, he is an offender. He said, because from the relish they get in remembering and repeating about Krishna's pastimes and the way their lifestyle is organized, we can see that although they may be externally engaged, just like Janaka Maharaj is engaged in kingship, of a whole world, but that his rasa doesn't come from there. Karmanemi samsiddhim astito janakadeha loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Lord is giving his own father-in-law's example. Isn't it? Karmanemi janakadeha. Adeha he is saying. That means Janaka is not the only king. Like Janaka, many, many kings, like Ambarish Maharaj, Gaya Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj. Many, many great kings have Swayambhu Manu. Many of them like that. And not only them, their wives also. Like regarding Ambarish Maharaj, it is said, Mahishya, Tulya Shelaya, it is said. And Shukadeva Goswami says, now, just because I am talking about King Ambarish so elaborately, don't think his wife was not a great devotee. Tulya Shelaya, her qualities were comparable with Ambarish Maharaj also, which means she was equally a devotee, as much as he was. Although there may not be elaborate description in Bhagavatam, maybe if you read Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana, you may get more details about the wife of Ambarish Maharaj. So in this way, the our lifestyle will give a clue for us whether I am in a growing direction or degrading direction. I have seen some people, like one gentleman in Bombay, Radha Gopinath Prabhu told me to give one Krishna book to him when I was working with a company in that locality, in the outskirts of Pune. So I used to wear white and white dhoti kurta in the morning and evening, and daytime I will wear pant shirt and go to factory company in 91 to 93. So during that time he told me once to go and meet him and give him. So when I went to his house, I battered the door. He opened the door, that man. As soon as he saw me, his eyes were glistening with tears. He welcomed me in the house. He smiled at me as if he knows me for a long time. Then he made me sit. Then I asked him, I told Radha Gopinath Prabhu. He said, yes, Prabhu. I had gone to Bombay. I was in the train. I met Radha Gopinath Prabhu in the train and we had some discussion. The discussion went on so well that he invited me to Chowpatty temple. I went there. And then I am actually supposed to go to Bombay for only one day. But 4 days I stayed in Bombay. In the same Chowpatty temple, attending all the morning and everything. Those 3-4 days were my golden period of my life, he said. And then I got a call from my mom saying that, hey, your marriage engagement is there in the coming week. Where are you roaming? Come back. And then marriage happened, he said. And now here I am. 3 years have passed. And I couldn't go to Bombay. I couldn't meet him. And then he said, wait a minute. Then he put a stool and then climbed up. And from the bureau top, he took some this much books, Prabhupada books. After removing, he was dusting them. And then he showed me, these are the books Prabhuji gave me, Radha Gopinath Prabhu gave me when I was leaving from there. He said, he told me to read, and he told I didn't get time to read. I kept it as it is. In the top, I kept it. Now that I have a samsara, now I became busy in my company and in my family and everything. Now when I see you, similar to that dhoti kurta you're wearing and everything, I was very thrilled to meet you. Please keep coming to my house, he was telling. So here is an example of how the living entity who once came to Krishna consciousness can become again forgetful and become covered over. But still there is no loss. Na vai jano jatu katanchana vrajen mukunda sevyan jabadanga samsritim smaran mukundangri upaguhanam punar vihatu miche narasagraho janaha. Narada says, rasagraha jan means one who has tasted a few drops of bliss, like this fellow. He tasted a few drops of bliss in the association of Radha Gopinath Prabhu, discussing with him, meeting him. He said, what a personality he is. He said, I felt as if he has descended from spiritual world. Such a wonderful devotee. He was appreciating. So he has appreciation for the devotee association and for the subject matter of devotional service, what he discussed. So that has touched his heart so much that although he has become apparent now, he has a small baby. When I met him, he had a small baby and wife and mother, father, everybody. And they all are, people who are fond of watching TV. They were having a big TV, full blast going on in the house when I went. So they were not devotees. He was the only one. He also was not a big devotee. He was a very new person. So then next day I went with a mala and gave him mala and said, if you chant Hare Krishna, Radha Gopinath will be very happy. So he said, okay, today onwards I will start, he said. So in this way gradually became advanced devotee over the years. But the point is that rasagraha jan, the word Narada uses, that few drops of devotion that we did, it hooks us to devotional service and gradually we will advance. But the question is, do we want to gradually advance or fastly advance? That's the question. If you want to fastly advance, then we have to do Antaranga Seva is superior to Bahiranga Seva. See here. Antaranga Seva is what? Internal service superior to Bahiranga Seva. Let us explain what it is. You see, Antaranga Seva means performing service from the bottom of the heart. And Bahiranga Seva means performing service superficially. Like everything we do from morning to night. Okay, let me give you an example. There are two ways to do deity worship at home. One way of deity worship is, call some devotees, welcome deities, make one altar and keep it. And then continue with one's business, one's materialistic activities, and say that in our home we also have an altar. And maybe the children may worship or put one Brahmana to worship or whatever. Somebody. When you go to such houses, they may say that, we also have Radha Krishna in our house. Like I had gone to one Agarwalji's house. They have a beautiful Radha Krishna deity. His wife is very, very devoted. She is worshipping the Lord 2-3 hours a day, absorbed. She's chanting the names, she's chanting stotrams and all, and dressing, decorating and everything. And like this, in his house there is a kind of loft kind of thing. That fellow lives in the top, the owner of the house. So his wife is telling him, please come offer obeisances to Lord before you go to business. He was telling me, sometimes I come down, I have no time, I immediately go to car. I don't even do namaskar to that Lord also. Swamiji, how to get that enthusiasm to go and bow down to Lord every day? I told him, ultimately one bows down at the time of death. Correct, no? Everybody has to bow down. You can't say, I can't bow down. Better that you bow down every day and prepare yourself so that when the final bow down takes place, you'll go back to Godhead. So, some people are like that. So, now in his house there is a Radha Krishna deity. He knows that, he says that, but he doesn't even take time to, he's not able to take time to take darshan also in his house also, correct, no? So some people appoint a Brahman to do the worship, and then they think that I have given a place for the Lord in my house. Whose house? They think like that. On the other hand, there are devotees I have seen whose consciousness is, this house belongs to, there is one devotee who has a Radha Madhav deity at home. Oh, this house belongs to Radha Madhav. They think everything in the house is for Radha Madhav. The kitchen is a place for cooking for Radha Madhav. And the drawing room is a place for conducting programs, for bringing people to consciousness of Radha Madhav. And one full room, the devotee has given for Sankirtan boxes. He has kept boxes in one room is fully allotted for that. And they are living in only one third of the house or so. The rest of the house is all for visiting devotees and that kind of consciousness they have. So in this way, that devotee is staying with the consciousness that the house belongs to whom? Radha Madhav. And I am also living in this house as a servant of Radha Madhav. That is the consciousness. So in my very early days, one thing deeply touched me when my spiritual master taught this. He said, for example, in Pune we have the Radha Vrindavan temple. We should think that Radha Vrindavan temple hall is the Raj Mahal of Radha Vrindavan. Correct, no? And they have given us an outhouse to live, which is Brahmacharya Ashram. And we are staying there. And all the people visiting the temple are all guests of whom? Radha Vrindavan. It is between them and the Lord. They are all coming to meet the king. So how should we treat them? We treat them with utmost respect. We welcome them. Because if you welcome them nicely, who will be happy? Radha Vrindavan will be happy. And give them nice prasad, make them comfortable. If they are pleased, our master will be pleased. So this is the mood in which we should serve the deities. Like that Paramahansa Ranath Maharaj taught, because he said he himself learnt this from Radha Gopijana Vallabha worshipper. His name is Radheshyam Baba. Radheshyam Baba used to say that I am only a servant. You are Gopijana Vallabha's special friend, special guest. So therefore you should take this roti. You should eat this. You should have the blanket for sleeping in the night, like that. So that is one mode. So Antaranga Seva means serving like that. Bahiranga Seva means like that family I told you. A person who just thinks that I have given one place for God in my house. Okay, God, don't worry, I will give you one corner. That kind of consciousness. Bahiranga Seva it is. Similarly, serving a sadhu sangha. How do you do sadhu sangha? Like sometimes a sadhu may visit a home of somebody. The external formalities people may do very perfectly. They may welcome him and shower flowers in the feet and put a garland, give him an elevated place to sit, give him some fruits to eat, sit down below his feet and then folded palms and say some nice words about the sadhu. आप किसी चरणों से हमारे घर सुशोभित हो गया आज. People speak like that. Your lotus feet has touched our house and हमारा घर धन्य हो गया, and people like that people may say. But they may not be in the mood to listen to the sermons of the sadhu or bring about any change in their life. Sadhu may say, please chant the holy name, they may not chant. Read Bhagavad Gita, they may not read. And give up any sinful business, they may not give up. And take Krishna consciousness seriously, they may not take up. It is very similar to what? When you go to, like I went to one millionaire's house, the man was telling, hey, beta, don't know, you had two daughters. They were in 7th or 8th standard. Beta, come here. Sadhu has come, please come. And he was sitting with about 8-10 relatives. And those two kids came from inside, they were playing video games. They came, bowed down like that, and then they went away again inside. Again they went away, because they don't have that inclination, interest. So, just as those kids are more into video game playing, and the sadhu's arrival at the home doesn't make any difference to them. In the same manner, there are also grown-ups who don't have any eagerness or inclination. So when a sadhu comes, they may just come, offer a garland because they are supposed to offer a garland, and then they may go away. So Chitraketu's situation was like that. Chitraketu welcomed Angira, but he was not willing to listen to Angira because his mind was made up of the idea that I should get a son. His mind was fixed in that mental attachment. That's called what seva? Is it Antaranga seva or Bahiranga seva? Bahiranga seva. Yeah. So that's what he's saying. So, in the same manner, everything should be done in Antaranga way. Like Antaranga Shishya. Bahiranga Shishya means what? Like Antaranga Shishya, nobody will know whose disciple he is. Like, he will praise all the spiritual masters and he has he doesn't have the tendency to drag people to take initiation only from his guru. Because he knows very well that, there is only ultimately one guru, is Krishnam Mande. That famous verse, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachan Ramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam. Then Krishnam Mande Jagat Guru. Krishna is Jagat Guru. So one should understand that Jagat Guru Krishna is manifesting through the mouths of hundreds and thousands of Diksha Gurus, Shiksha Guru, Vartma Pradesha Guru. From all their mouths, Krishna only is speaking. Just like, assume that there is a very big stainless steel barrel. Outside there are 8 or 10 taps. And milk is coming from all the taps. You can actually put your glass and take milk from any of the taps you can take. Now, although there are 8 and taps are there, from all the taps what milk comes? Same milk comes. So Krishna's message is like that. So Krishna's message is coming from the mouths of different gurus. But you may be inspired by one Vaishnava's way of presenting the philosophy. Like some Vaishnava may be presenting with wit and humor. Some Vaishnava may present with a scientific type of presentation. Some Vaishnava may present the Leelas, they may speak very sweetly. Some Vaishnava may elaborate the philosophy very nicely. Somebody may give nice stories or examples. Or some Vaishnava's presentation may be very compassionate. So, different jivas are looking for connecting with Krishna, but they are able to connect with Krishna through some particular Vaishnava's way of presentation. But ultimately the substance is same. Just like my mother used to make this seva. You know seva? She used to have 5 dabbas. Seva. All are containing seva only. Only they will have different flavors. One she will put lemon. Another one she will put sweet. Another one she will put some, tomato. Tomato seva. One is lemon seva. One is tamarind seva. Another one is sweet seva. Correct, no? So now ultimately all are what? Seva only. So different speakers are like that only. Different flavors of seva. Correct, no? So there may be, but ultimately all the Vaishnavas are speaking what is coming from Krishna only. So if that is so, then one understanding this fact, and any guru comes to your temple, we should respect them just like we respect our own spiritual master. But it is seen in some ISKCON communities, when one guru comes, his disciples will come in a big number. You have seen that? And other people may not show up also. And then when another guru comes, then that guru's disciples will come. This goes to show the neophyteness of the followers. They do not know that actually the guru who is coming, he is a vehicle for Krishna's message. So whom you are respecting is Krishna's message, manifesting through that guru. And this guru is such a wonderful personality, he has such a surrendered soul that Krishna has agreed to manifest through his mouth. So, and guru, when we say it, is not only Diksha Guru. All the Shiksha Gurus, Diksha Guru, Atma Guru, whoever is a proper Vaishnava, from whose mouth powerful spiritual sound is manifesting, then it's worshipable, respectable, adorable, admirable, that kind of thing. So when we know this, we can connect with any Vaishnava very happily, joyfully. At the same time, we are loyal to one spiritual master, or we are loyal to, like we say, respect all, associate with a few, Reveal your mind in confidence to a very few and take instruction from one, it is said. We should respect even an ant, then why can't we respect everybody? Then associate with few, it is said, because you cannot associate with those Vaishnavas who exhibit hatred or blasphemy and things like that. But you can respect them. Associate with a few. And reveal your mind to a very few means like you have a few people who know you well and you know them. You can reveal your mind to them. Like Lord Chaitanya while taking sannyas, he didn't reveal to everybody. He revealed to a few people. And take instruction from one doesn't mean only one. It can be 5, 6 also, but all of them are in one line. For example, I take instruction from my spiritual master directly when he is available. If he is not available, then I will take instruction from Radha Gopinath Prabhu. I will go to Bombay, meet him and talk to him about it. And certain instruction I may take from Sanat Kumar Prabhu also, or Shyamanand Prabhu, because they all are in one boat with Maharaj. Their will align with Maharaj's will. So then it is taking instruction from one, like that. So in this way, we have to, when we are dealing, Antaranga Shishya means he hides his spiritual master. He doesn't easily promote or make propaganda of the spiritual master. Bahiranga Shishya, he always wants to tell others that this is my spiritual master and you also take initiation from him. If you really like me, you should take from him only. And there are people like that. And also in some temples, temple presidents, if you want from my guru, today only I will give you a letter. If you want from any other guru, I will make you wait for 10 years. Like that. They do like that. It's all neophyteness. You see. That's a Bahiranga Shishya. Antaranga Shishya is like a chaste wife who doesn't expose her body to anybody other than her husband. Like that. Sometimes people have asked me, whose disciple am I? They ask me, are you Gopal Krishna's disciple? Are you Jayapada? Actually, you find out, I told them. You find out. So, generally, because I glorify many spiritual masters, people wonder whose disciple is he? So, when we are broad-minded in dealing with all the gurus as affectionately as we deal with our guru, then our whole ISKCON can be one family under the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. It can be united. Like you can have, for example, in a flower vase, there are colorful flowers, fragrant flowers, different shapes, sizes and forms and everything. But they all are connected in the flower vase. So Prabhupada is like the flower vase. In the vase of Prabhupada, all gurus are fitting. But if you take out one flower and say, this is the only flower, all flowers are useless. And you say, that's not proper. So only a Bahiranga Shishya feels like that. Antaranga Shishya can be respectful, you see. So, okay, then let's go ahead. Unholy heart versus holy heart. You see, this is, now there's a table here. This requires to be understood. Very important table it is. See, let us start with this thing. First thing, person with unholy heart, he finds fault in others. Whereas a holy heart means see his own faults and praise for others. So, anya ninda adishunyam hridamepsita sangalabdya. He says, in that verse, one should associate with those who have given up the propensity for finding fault with others. So, you see, let me explain this with one listen, just a minute. See, this fellow, this is who is this? Daksha Prajapati, yelling and shouting in the assembly. Because he got offended when Shiva did not get up. Okay, Daksha Prajapati is a great personality, he is a Prajapati, he is a progenitor of mankind, and Brahmaji had appointed him as a Prajapati, but then he became very proud. And then he offended Shiva in a public assembly very badly. And Shiva did not take any offense. He just stood up and left the place. Nandi took offense actually. And Nandi spoke back. And then many of the followers of Daksha spoke back. It's a very, very dangerous pastime. Sometimes you can read it. To know how we should be very careful in public assemblies. We should be very respectful to Vaishnavas. We cannot afford to be careless. If you are careless and casual, you will become casualty due to blasphemy. So he offended. After that, Shiva did not go to Vajpayee Yajna held by Daksha Prajapati, but the Sati was very eager to go. She was telling Shiva, see, you can sit under a tree and do meditation, but I am after all a woman, I have to do some socializing. I have to meet my sisters, I have to meet my mother, and it's a public assembly, all demigods are flying in the sky in their airplanes and going for my father's Vajpayee Yajna. They are all going with their wives, nicely dressed and decorated with ornaments, they are going, and you are not taking me there. Shiva said, see, already he offended me once, if I go second time, he will again offend me. And I don't mind taking offense, but you will be very disturbed. So therefore, I am not planning to go, he said. And then Shiva said, by the way, he didn't give me invitation also, he said. She said, giving invitation to a family member is a sign of insult. Imagine, for example, elder sister getting married. Will she give invitation to younger sister? If younger sister will ask, am I another person from another family? I am the same family. Similarly, she said, I am her daughter, I am his daughter. Being his daughter, how can one give invitation to one's daughter? Therefore he didn't give invitation like that, she said. But Shiva said, that may be all right with you, but I am a son-in-law. I am supposed to be given some invitation, at least a word, if not the proper card or something. At least the word should be given. But he didn't treat me well, and again he is doing a yajna and no information is sent to us. So it's not good to go, like that Shiva was saying. I am not planning to. He didn't tell her, don't go. That's the amazing thing with Shiva. Actually, this I learned from his spiritual master also. He will never say, don't do it. But he will tell you in such a way that it is implied that you should not do it. Like I used to ask him, so Maharaj, I think better we drop it. No, I didn't say you drop it. You can consider it. But you see, this problem, that problem, this problem. Therefore I was telling you, okay Maharaj, I understand, so I'll give it up. No, I didn't say that. I am not saying that. Okay Maharaj, you are not saying that, so what I should do? That you should decide, he will say. Because ultimately he wants who to decide? Yeah, he wants me to decide. But he will not say, do it like this. Because what will happen, I will go and tell everybody, Maharaj told me to do this. Correct, no? Like one devotee, he went to Maharaj's room, and Maharaj actually understood that he needs to get married. And he asked, so Maharaj, ultimately tell me whatever you told I understood. I think you want me to marry. He said, no, you see, you have this. Therefore I was suggesting these things to you. So what do you think? He said, okay Maharaj, I don't think anything, but the way you have told me, you have discouraged me from joining full time. And I think you want me to marry, That you should decide, he said. Of course the boy came out and said, Maharaj told me to marry. So, just similarly Shiva also. He is telling Parvati that, if you go, this will happen, that will happen. And she understood that he doesn't want to go. And he doesn't want to take her. She was looking at him as if she is going to burn him. She was very upset. She threw an angry glance also. And then she was looking up in the sky, looking at him. Finally, Parvati decided that I will go to Daksha's place, and in case he is not properly respecting my husband Shiva, I will strongly speak to him and bring him to sanity. And he will come with me, bow down at Shiva's lotus feet, and take him for the sacrifice. That was whose plan? Sati. Do you think it will happen? Many of us, we have a very strong desire to change somebody's behavior. And that is the most frustrating thing in this world. See, you can change yourself if you want, but changing others is little difficult or more difficult? Most difficult. Almost next to impossibility. But she was making a big plan. See here what she is doing. She has gone. Now she saw the father's behavior. When she reached home, reached his palace, all his sisters came and surrounded her with tears in their eyes. Oh, we are meeting after a long time, and everybody. Mother also came to meet her affectionately. But then she looked at Daksha, who was sitting in the sacrificial arena, and all the Brahmanas got up to respect her, because Sati is a very highly respected personality, Shiva's wife. But then when they got up, when Daksha turned to them, they sat down. They became afraid also. They thought, we don't want to become an object of anger of Daksha. Like that. And what did Daksha do? He turned around and turned his face away. Which means he didn't express joy by having Sati. At that time, Sati spoke a very strong verse. She said, Father, in this world, there is Mahattara, Mahattama, Ati Mahattama. Then there is Asadu, Asadutara, Asadutama, Atyasadutama. Like that she told. She explained that. So Chakravarti Thakur has given a very nice explanation of that. See, Mahat means he sees fault out of good and bad. He sees bad, but he gives rectification program. That is Mahat. And Mahattara means out of the good and bad, he only focuses on good only. He says only, see this good, like this he says. And Mahattama is one, he takes a small good quality and he magnifies a small good quality and he neglects the bad. He will say that, hey, see, this devotee, every Janmashtami he comes regularly to temple. Whereas, Asadutama, what he will say, what is this? Once in a year he comes and you are praising him, like that he will say. Whereas he takes a small good quality, at least he comes to Krishna's temple once in a year. He comes and he gives donation for the dress or whatever, like that. He appreciates that. And Ati Mahattama means even when there is no good quality in a person, still he glorifies. Like he says, I was sleeping in the train. One thief came and stole my purse. What a good thief, he didn't kill me. He just took only my purse. Such a good person. Like that. It's Ati Mahattama. Even when there is none, he will find good quality. Like one mother brought her small baby, who was just 1 year old boy. She brought to the temple, she went to Prabhupada. And the child was all the while saying, Ba, 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 he was saying. When she bowed down to Prabhupada, child said, Baba. And mother, he's saying, Prabhupada. She's saying. And I am observing the child is saying Baba everywhere. Not only that. But why she is saying? Out of love. When a mother loves a child, everything said, and the child took the pencil, pen and paper and just put something, and she told, Babu, my child has written Om, she said. When I looked at the Om, it was only Archimedean spiral. It was like a big spiral. I said, Matis, where is Om? I am not able to see, you are seeing. Who can see? Only a mother with eye of love can see like that. Isn't it? So, this Ati Mahatma is such a person, for him finding any fault in anyone is very difficult. He sees good everywhere. He is like that. And Asadu, see, things that good qualities will turn into faults. For example, out of the good and bad, Mahat also sees bad, but Mahat will go to a person and say, see, you have this small issue, Prabhu. If you just rectify this one thing now, you will be a wonderful devotee. For example, the apple may have small black spot. You take a knife, remove that part. Then apple is wonderful. Mahat feels like that. Whereas, Asadu, what he says, if you tell him, hey Prabhu, this new boy, today morning how he was dancing, you saw in Guru Puja. Prabhuji, kitne saal naachta hai dekhte hain. How long he will dance? Hum bhi aise hi naachte the pehle. That means even if you tell him that he has some good quality, he will not believe that the good quality will go on and on. That is Asadu is like that. Asadu Tara means he sees faults only, overlooking the good qualities. He will only see faults. He cannot see the good quality at all. Like for example, everybody has a good side and bad side. This Asadu is such a person, Asadu Tara, such a person that he always points out the faults in people. See, pointing out faults is not a very bad idea, provided you have a solution for it. You are offering them a solution. He will not give any solution. He simply delights in, like one boy came to the temple, Bhagavatam class, his owners, Bhakti Brihad Bhagavat Maharaj was giving Bhagavatam. He said, at the end of the class he asked any questions. He said, Maharaj, we come to ISKCON temple, but if there is politics in the temple, what to do? He asked. And Maharaj asked, is Mangalarati happening in temple? He said, yes Maharaj. Is Narsingha Arati happening? Like one by one he asked. Tulsi Arati happening? Are devotees doing japa? Is Guru Puja happening? Is Sringar Darshan happening? Is Bhagavatam? He was telling, yes Maharaj, yes Maharaj, yes Maharaj, he was telling. Is Bhagavatam class happening? Yes Maharaj. Why didn't you take advantage of all this? Why do you say there is politics? He thought and said, yes, Maharaj, and sat down. So Maharaj helped him to see that even though there may be some problem in the temple, but there are so many good things happening, overwhelmingly good things are happening. Why don't you take advantage of that? You are pointing only the fault. And even while pointing fault, what are you doing to rectify it? That's the question. Anybody blames ISKCON, I strongly protest. I tell them, you are sitting in the ship of ISKCON and finding fault with ISKCON. What are you doing to remove that fault in ISKCON? Why are you? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. ISKCON has Prabhupada made ISKCON. Prabhupada says ISKCON is my body. And this boat is giving us shelter. If there is flaw in it, you come inside and you rectify it. Do something to make it better instead of just blaming it. So, and then asadhu tama, he will take a small fault and magnify it. And he will say this person has no good qualities. For example, imagine a cat has passed some stool in their corner. You are coming into the temple hall and you find, oh, what is this nasty smell? Some cat has passed. Okay, immediately what you should do? Take the stool and throw it away and throw some water, phenol or something and clean that place. Somebody will come and ask me, Prabhuji, what are you doing in the corner? And I say, nothing, Prabhuji. I was just cleaning it, you may say. That's the way Mahatma devotee will behave. But if somebody finds a stool and then they pick up in the hand and they go to all devotees and say, little, say, cat has passed stool. To everybody you give it. And everybody will be plugging their nose. What is this nasty thing? He is going and giving it to 30 people. Similarly, this asadhutama, what he will do, he will take one small fault of a devotee and go and tell everybody about it. Distribute to everybody. Is it a very wonderful thing to do? How? And everybody's mind is disturbed. Oh, I had a good opinion about the devotee, this fellow has put some poison in my head now. And everybody is miserable. So do you want to make devotees miserable or happy? Yeah. I don't say you should hide the fault of the devotee. If you found a fault, go to his spiritual guardian. Go and report to them, Prabhu, I found this fault in this devotee, please kindly rectify it. Correct or not? Isn't it? So, this asadhutama is a very dangerous person. He takes a small fault and magnifies it. Goes around telling everybody. And atyasadhutama, even when others see only faults in others, even when there are no faults also. This fellow Ramachandrapuri found fault with Lord Chaitanya also. Chaitanya's character is spotless. He found fault even with him also. So why I told you this, coming back to this, you see, unholy heart means it only finds faults in others. A holy heart means sees one's own faults and prays for others. Unholy heart means it reacts with pride when corrected. You have seen that sometimes you find as soon as somebody gives a feedback, immediately they will react back. You are saying this about me, I will give you a punch on your nose now. You told me one fault about me, I will tell you 5 faults about you. They will immediately spring back. So these fellows will not receive any feedback from anybody. So, reacts with pride when corrected. They get wild, just like our Ravana. As soon as Ravana was told by Vibhishan that, oh brother, you are bringing Sita and keeping here, Sita is like fire. You are tying a fire around your belly, it's dangerous. She will destroy you. Better you give Sita back to Ram, he said. Immediately Ravana became enraged. He said, look at all my ministers, everybody is nodding their head, agreeing with me that what I am doing is perfect, except you. Because he wanted to be surrounded by yes-men. Who? Ravan. He kicked on the chest of Vibhishan and said, you claim to be my brother, but you are not my real brother. Get out of this place, he said. And Vibhishan, poor fellow, he left his palace, left his post, left his prestige and status, all the gold, silver, diamond in the palace. With empty hands, he went to fly, he flew to the side of Rama. And do you think there was a welcome for him there? No, because Vanaras were not ready to accept him. They went to Rama and complained. Even though there was no assurance of safety and shelter there. This is the meaning of Sharanagati, you see. He completely, he said, I have no other respite, I have no other way to go. Lord Rama is my only shelter. Like, Hanuman once in Ramayana told Ram, My dear Lord, I love you so much. If you slap me or kick me away, still I will come and hold on to your lotus feet. Like that Hanuman told Rama. Rama asked him, why are you serving me? That time Hanuman told this. So, Vibhishan also did similarly. So, on the other hand, Ravana, he reacted with pride when corrected. And holy heart is grateful for correction. If somebody tells you feedback to you, oh, I am so thankful, Prabhu. You identified this for me. Who is there in this world like you who can help me? You are coming and helping me. Thank you very much. In case you find anything more about me, please tell me. And I need good friends like you who are my well-wishers. Like that. And then unholy heart is attached to position or one's own service. Whereas holy heart means attached to Krishna regardless of position or service. You see, some people may be attached here, like somebody was made some in charge of festival committee. So 3-4 years he was in charge. After that his in chargeship was changed to somebody else. This devotee became wild. He said, what is this? I have been in charge of this service. How can it be given to somebody else? Then the devotee was told, Prabhu, like Olympic torch, you can't carry always with you. It's my torch. No, after some distance you have to give the Olympic torch to somebody else. And then they will run some distance and then they will give it to somebody else. Correct, no? It has to be given from one hand to another. Why you want to hold? And he was also told, see, in Lions Club or Rotary Club, after 1 year you have to change also. So your department service was given to you. Now others also want to do. Some devotees have come up now, they want also opportunity. And you will be given another service. No. If this service is taken away from me, today is the last day I am coming to temple. Then I will not come. So in this way he is attached to his service or is attached to his position, which is not good. So that is unholy heart. He is not pure enough. That's also one type of mental attachment. Whereas here, demons did that, right? Oh, you are given us Ahir Pucham Amangalam. You are given us the tail side of Vasuki, so we are quitting the project, we are going away. So Vishnu said, Arey, wait a minute, you can at least, if you want the mouth side, tell me, I'll give you the mouth side. Then he asked the Devatas, are you ready to come to the tail side? Devata says, my dear Lord, we are ready to whatever you want us to do. If you tell us to quit, we will quit. If you tell us to stay, we will stay. If you tell us to hold the mouth side, we will hold the mouth side. If you tell us to hold the tail side, we will hold the tail side. We are whose servant? We are your servant. That's the right attitude of a devotee. And what service? You tell me to wash pots, I will wash pots. Tell me to speak a lecture, I will speak a lecture. Now, like somebody asking me, Prabhu, why you are not taking sannyas? I said, why should I take sannyas? Guru gives sannyas, you take it. Guru doesn't give, don't take it. Guru says, Yamana Brahmachari, Yamana Brahmachari. Correct, no? So, we should do what will ultimately please Guru and Krishna. Correct, no? We don't do what we want to do. As soon as you say, I like, then you have become independent. Correct, no? That's the right standard of a holy heart, you see. So, and then busy in service. Unholy heart is busy in service, but no inner prayer life. Externally busy. I have done this service, I have done that service. Do you know who did this? Do you know who did that? When you go and find out, you will come to know this fellow only did it. So basically he is proud of his service. I have done this, I have done that. But this person is not improving the quality of his sharanagati, improving the quality of his humility and tolerance and simplicity, service, respect and all that. So all of us have to work on this. It's very easy for us to be busy in service without inner prayerful life. Whereas the holy heart means service flows from inner connection. Oh, I am Guru Das, I am Krishna Das, I am Prabhupada Das, I am actually a servant of Guru Parampara and I have no separate identity. When Hanuman went to Lanka, he was asked, who are you? He said, Dasoham Kaushalendrasya, Ramasya Aklishta Karmanaha. He says, I am servant of Rama, whose character is spotless. So Hanuman 24/7 was always in this consciousness. I am Ramadas, I am Ramadut. He remembered like that. So this is very important. Arjuna also was in that consciousness. Krishna is my friend. He is my Lord. As soon as Krishna asked, do you want me or you want Narayana Sena? He said, where is the question of choosing anything else other than you? You are everything for me. So, in that way, actually, our identification should be more with our superiors and parampara, and we should not identify with the external things. Like, for example, in those days, 1997, I became a president of the Pune temple. There was no official letter that you are a president of Pune temple, you should become. My Guru Maharaj told me, and Gopaksha Maharaj told me, so I became president. But now sometimes certain people in ISKCON also say, I am becoming president, better to give me a letter, because tomorrow if you tell me to quit, I will show, I got a letter now. Your strength of being a president depends more on the official letter. The company gives you appointment order. If somebody asks me, why did you become president of Pune? Because they told me to become president. Tell me, don't be president, wash pots, I will wash pots. Distribute books, I will distribute books. Preach to youth, I will preach to youth. Because I am not considering ISKCON as an organization. I consider ISKCON as a spiritual world. In spiritual world, we simply do out of love. We don't do just, we don't have this bureaucracy, protocol, all these things. ISKCON is a home and office. Those official things will go on. But those are like external shell. Really, within our heart, we have to have a proper state of consciousness. So, service should flow from that inner connection. Why do I serve? I simply love my Guru and I simply love Srila Prabhupada. How much they have done for me, and I want to do something in return. Not that somebody asking, why do you go on Harinam? Some devotee was saying, Prabhuji, I am supposed to go. Because they have put my name today, I am supposed to go for Harinam. Acha, really? Supposed to go? Actually, we go because Gaur Nitai is leading us. And Srila Prabhupada is behind them, and all the acharyas are behind. We go because that is the right thing for the soul to do. So, the last one here, he says, unholy heart feels dry and chanting. You see? Yeah, it's very obvious. Why he feels dry? There is no inner connection, no? Inner shelter connection is lacking, so he feels dry. Here he feels prayerful, he feels dependent. I gave the name PDF, easy to remember, no? Prayerful, dependent, and fulfilled. So, the more you feel dependence, you feel that joy. Like a child is dependent on the mother and father. The child feels great joy while looking at the mother or father, being with them. The child feels the greatest happiness. Similarly, in chanting of the holy name, we are coming in touch with the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. There is one very beautiful, just 1 minute. Yeah, this picture, this is a traditional Indian picture, famous one it is. So, such a beautiful picture. This is a divine couple. So, Radharani is wearing blue sari because Krishna's body is blue. Krishna is wearing golden dress, pitambar, because Radharani's color is golden. So, actually Krishna is wearing golden color because he knows Radharani's color is golden, she will like if I wear this. And Radharani is wearing blue because she feels that Krishna is bluish. He will be very happy. So, Radha Krishna ekatanu dui dekha dari, anyonya vilasa kare, aswadana kare, it is said. Radha and Krishna are one, but they are separated into two, like the eternal mother and father for the jiva. So my Guru Maharaj once said, we are all part and parcel of Krishna, and a small drop of love that we carry is a part and parcel of Radharani's love. Radharani has oceanic love, and we have a drop of love. So all the jivas are like small, tiny kids, children in the spiritual world. Radha Krishna are like the supreme. So to be at their lotus feet and chant the holy name and delight in their service without any motivation, without any expectation in return, simply derive that joy in getting an opportunity to serve them. So that is the right state of consciousness. So now I won't be able to do the rest of the notes, it's getting late also for all of you. But the notes I have given you, you can read these things, Namasmarana with the heart and not lips alone. The principles you have understood now, it will be easy. And I have highlighted important portions. You can go through these notes yourself, in a reflective mood. You can go through this. So it's a very elaborate note, nicely made, elaborate, many points are there. There are examples also given here. So, So we discussed about, yeah, yes, Madhuri, give the mic to her. Is there a mic available here?
Guruji, if we find ourselves able to relate very much with the unholy heart problems, what is a good starting point, Guruji?
The good starting point is first to hear about these things and understand, which we are already doing now. So, all of us are going from unholy heart to a holy heart. When Prabhupada came to America, he said, I have come here to convert the crow class into swan class, Prabhupada said. And then Prabhupada said, what about devotees? Are devotees crow class or swan class? So we find we have some white feathers, some black feathers. So we have to remove those black feathers and keep only the white feathers. Then we become swan after that. So in the same manner, we have some symptoms of the unholy heart observed in our lifestyle. Then we can find out what all I can do. So I have given the further notes in the same notes. If you go below, how to chant, how not to chant, and how to hear the Bhagavatam, how not to hear. Those things are explained further. Books like Living Name by His Holiness Sajanand Maharaj. In that book, Maharaj explains about the consciousness in chanting very, very, very beautifully. There is a body door, mind door, and heart door. Yesterday I was talking about the body door and mind door. After the heart door is not opened by us, it is opened by the Lord from inside. Like here also, the pujari will be inside only when Lord tells him to open, then only he will open. We cannot open from outside ourselves. Like in Mayapur, one time there was a Chandan Yatra for Radha Madhava. So somebody told me that day that they are going to put blue Chandan for Radha Madhava. So heavy crowd, because everybody wanted to see Radha Madhava in bluish color. The whole temple hall was packed that day. So 8 o'clock darshan was supposed to open. Because it would take a little longer to make the chandan thing. So 8 o'clock it went past 8, became 8:05, 8:10. One fellow in the front was shouting. He was shouting that, what is this? They said 8 o'clock they will open, why are they not opening? There was one Prabhupada disciple, one old lady, Mataji, in white dress, white sari. She was telling that man, hey, you cannot demand the Lord to open the altar. You have to just pray. Everybody is doing kirtan, you join the kirtan, be peaceful. Whenever the Lord wills, the door will open. She said, again 10 more minutes passed. Again that fellow started shouting. See, 20 minutes are passed. Still they are not opening. Then this lady said, see, you guys are not chanting intense enough. If you intensely call, Lord will definitely give darshan immediately, she said. As soon as she said that in the mic, immediately the kirtan became 10 times louder. Then all the devotees started jumping, dancing, doing kirtan. Immediately altar opened. And then Radha Madhava gave blue chandan, in the decoration very beautifully. So one thing became clear. Actually, in bhakti, in the path of bhakti, we cannot become angry with the Lord and we cannot demand the Lord. We can only request the Lord, plead the Lord. Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatume. Whenever He wills, He will give us. So from our side, we have to check whether I am doing the homework properly. Am I doing my part well? Where am I lacking? I feel that there are a lot of improvements I can do in my personal life. Many days we don't sleep on time in the night. We can try to sleep on time. And many days in the our morning when we get up, we don't utilize the morning so well. Hearing Prabhupada's lectures and chanting with a little more attention. We know what all to be not to be done. Don't be careless in chanting and don't meditate on your day's duties or weekly duties during chanting. So we have to make strenuous efforts to rise above our limitations. And also in dealing with devotees, sometimes we take them for granted, we are careless. Because of our carelessness in dealing with devotees, we commit offenses and the offenses make our chanting harder. So in this way, I feel that we can have a kind of reflection in the night when we go to bed. How did my day go today? My dealings with devotees, my dealing with the japa, my hearing of the Bhagavatam, and what is one good lesson I learned today which I can apply in my life? Because every day should be a day of increasing knowledge, little increment in knowledge, little increment in understanding. By those people I have seen, those who write a journal in the night, those who are reflective in nature, they really progress in their heart very fast. This is one of the Bhakti Swami was telling us in Bombay when he came. He said, every day he writes a diary to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, what did I do for you today? And then what am I planning to do tomorrow? Tomorrow I will distribute your books. Day after I will go on Harinam. And then this weekend I will do these programs for you. So he offered it as an offering to Prabhupada. And similarly, we have our spiritual master also. So meditating on a spiritual master and Prabhupada writing something, what I did today and what I could have done. One more thing we can write is, today this went like this, instead of that I could have done like this. That also we can write. That means you are a thinking devotee. Thinking devotees grow very fast. So about everything we do. These notes actually will be helpful if you take out some time to reflectively go through that. It gives a lot of clues, it gives. Thank you. And if anybody has any question, you can always, based on the notes, if you have any question, you can always write. I can answer. Anybody else? Yeah? Yes, Prabhu. Is it Paramatma Prabhu? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dhanyavad.
So, Prabhu, as you were saying, fault finding, which at least I see that it is quite common, even within the devotees. And probably I was a person who was finding faults when I was not a devotee, and now people are finding in me. But as a sadhaka, Prabhu, people, even the seniors are there, very advanced sometimes, and people keep on finding faults.
No, you have to see their intention also. In management, you can't avoid finding fault. But when you find fault, like one example I'll tell you. Somebody told his only Chandramali Maharaj, Maharaj, he's an aggressive fellow. He's very aggressive. Maharaj said, no, he's a Kshatriya Vaishnava. He said, you see him like that. He may say something strongly, but he's a wonderful devotee. So, in this way, even while pointing fault, you can actually understand why that fellow is behaving like this or saying like this. So, you always see everybody as a Vaishnava first. And then when you see the fault, then you will be able to bring about some solution. Otherwise, simply pointing fault without seeing them as a devotee will lead to more complications.
So my question is more to Prabhu, like, someone is finding a fault in a devotee and the devotee sincerely has no faults, but somebody is against criticizing or doing so many. What is that person needs to do as a beginner? He may not say anything because of Vaishnava Aparad, but he may be deliberating, meditating and not even...
No, he can go to the devotee and say that, Prabhu, please give me a list of my faults so I can work on it. Can say that. Yeah. Can ask if he is a sincere devotee. And then you can see, is there any element of truth in what that fellow is saying? If there is no element of truth, then you need not worry. As we say, the dogs may bark, the caravan goes on. Correct, no? Yeah. Yes? Anybody else? If somebody yells at me, the first thing I will ask is there any element of truth in what he is saying? Maybe the way he is saying is improper, but what he is saying may be true. Correct or not? How many have you experienced that you promised somebody, you failed to do, they became angry at you? Anybody has experience? Correct, no? Now his yelling is because of his frustration. Not that he is so much upset with me, he is frustrated. But if the content is correct, we should seek forgiveness. You should say, sorry Prabhuji. Even if he called names also to us, we should not take offense. We should say that, sorry Prabhu, I know how much you are upset about this, I know I forgot it, I promise you next time it will not happen or whatever. Yeah, yes? Krishna.
Since you were sharing about the last 2 days on Shravana, Maranam and Nirvidya.
Yeah.
I want to understand, because in our initial years we've always heard about Sambandha, Ravideya and Krishna. Is there any correlation or one leads or is it a subset? And just was trying to contemplate but confused. So I wanted to get some clarity.
Like Sambandha to Abhidaya, Abhidaya to Prajan, same manner, equal to which one?
Are they equal or is one leading to the other?
Oh, right. Oh, actually, all the three keep getting nourished more and more in a devotee. For example, Sambandha is, who am I? Who is Krishna? What is Maya? The relationship between the three. Initially, our clarity is very poor. Gradually, our understanding gets deeper and deeper. And the mature stage of Sambandha is Sharanagati. Correct, no? Where we can clearly see that I am at Krishna's lotus feet and what is Maya situation, everything we understand. Now Abhidheya is devotion service. So initially the devotion service we do is not of great quality, We do it externally, mechanically. Just very similar to, first we do Nishkama Karma, then Sakama Karma first, then Nishkama Karma, then Nishkama Karma Yoga, correct, no? Then we come to Jnana, then we come to, Ashtanga Yoga. Like that we go higher and higher. Even as a devotee also we go through those levels of consciousness, if you see. And then initially, for example, a devotee wants to enjoy the world. Then he wants to get rid of sufferings. That is Jnana type. Then one wants some powers. That is Yoga. Correct, no? And then one comes to actual Bhakti. So in our Abhideya performance also, Ahetuka Pratyata takes good amount of time to come to the stage. And the prayojan also, initially the prayojan we get will be very limited because of our limited surrender. It's like, whatever token you put accordingly you get. Correct, no? And then we surrender more, consciousness has increased, then the prayojan, initially the prayojan is, Krishna is my master, that's all you understand. Then later on you enter into 5 rasas. Then the relationships become more and more deeply understandable. Correct, no? So all the 3 are simultaneously increasing, and it's an ongoing thing. Is clear? As far as Shravana Mananam is concerned, initially we are doing only Shravanam, and our Mananam is not much. Because initially we have bookish knowledge. And Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita purport, bookish knowledge without realization is useless, he says. Prabhupada says. Therefore, for very young new devotees, we give them more service. Because the knowledge alone cannot help them. They have to do service and develop some taste. And they also develop affection for Vaishnavas. So affection for Vaishnavas, attraction for service, attraction for prasadam, kirtan, deity worship, these are things which carries them on in the beginning stage. And then when they get little more purified, their quality of devotion service gets better. At that time it goes from knowledge to understanding, but no realization. They have understanding, but from theoretical to little more practically they understand it. And then a stage comes when they start getting realizations personally, when they get more purified like that. And then they have personal application, preaching application, theological application, all those things come after that. Then their faith becomes deeper, faith and conviction, then they understand Prabhupada's mood, Prabhupada's mission, all those things. So those are values. That's why I was showing that circle yesterday. Did I send that also? That 12 aims of Shastric study. Did I send you that also? Yeah. If you go through that, there are 3 circles. Knowledge becomes understanding and realization. And inside that personal application, after that you go to preaching application, theological application. Similarly, the core becomes, all the values develop, the devotee. So when values, character develops, and then the devotee's depth, that is the time devotee gets tears in the eyes and hair standing on end. Because now the devotee feels the presence of Krishna very, very strongly. Just as we feel the presence of somebody in front of us, like the devotee feels. So with that depth of devotion and that depth of faith, the devotee becomes fearless and free from all lamentation. Correct, no? So in this way, these are all ongoing, gradual development of things over the years. Like Mataji was asking, that this will also keep growing, and we have to keep checking ourselves. What am I doing? How am I doing? How I can improve? What can I do better? We should always think. Those who are working on, this famous fellow, Steve Jobs wrote a book called Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. He says, whole idea what he says is, be a learner. Always be a learner. Never think I know it all. If you are always in the mood of learning and you are humble, then we have a lot of things to learn and grow. And this fellow, Steve Jobs, was thrown out of the company by a team of leaders because he would come with out-of-box ideas. At one point of time, they thought he is very impractical, they threw him. But after he was thrown out, they realized that without him they can't run. After 2 years, they took him back again. and he had such humility that he was ready to work with them again. So, therefore he wrote that book, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. So which means, if you are in a mood of learner, we will not feel defeated anytime. We always know that, yes, I am a tiny jiva. I will try my best to become better now. It's an ongoing thing. So it's a project in progress. It's in progress. And we have to keep doing it. But one beauty of Krishna consciousness, the more you start doing it nicely, you will give you experience of entering into Amritatvam, timelessness. So So when one enters into the timelessness, even while being in this material body, then one does not identify with the material world much. External world is there around you. You know that I am in the material world. But like Uddhava, for example, when he was asked a question by Vidura about Krishna, tears welled up in his eyes and the hair stood on end and his body trembled in ecstasy as soon as he heard about Krishna. Then Prabhupada says he came down from the Vaikuntha to this world, Prabhupada says. But he was right here in front of Vidura. Why it says he came down from Vaikuntha? Because his consciousness was posted in Vaikuntha. From there he brought his consciousness to the external world and then he started describing about Krishna to Vidura, he says. So in this way, initially a devotee, what he thinks, I am there, Krishna is also there, small circle. I am a big circle, Krishna is a small circle, like the devotee thinks. Slowly his size of his circle reduces. You understand? Krishna's circle becomes bigger and bigger. Then he understands, Krishna is there and I am also there, like that devotee thinks. Later on, understanding of Krishna becomes so big, this circle becomes so small, like a point only. That's why he says, Kripaya Pada Pankaja Sita Dhuli Sadrisham. I am like a dhuli only. Krishna is so great, I am like a insignificant dhuli. Like that one feels. So this kind of consciousness shift will happen as we keep on practicing. Thank you. Yugalakshapa, you are the local leader. You want to add something? Give a mic to him. He should be. He is a very expert in this topic because he is a man of heart.
Very amazing. Thank you very much. Wonderful. I have only one technical question.
You can give comment on the subject so that we all can learn something and apply in our lives.
Perfect, actually. Amazingly wonderful, and I'm really worried if I add anything, I don't want to contaminate such a pure substance. So let it flow the way it's going. If you allow, I'll ask one question. It's technical, and because you touched it. Maya, mental energy, is very powerful, and she gives everyone the illusion.
Yeah.
Recently we finished this Daksha series, actually, we finished and came to Gautam, So the way she was behaving, I was shocked, actually. She gives an impression she is also in 3 modes.
Who?
Mother Sati.
Correct. He speaks like that.
She started crying, actually. She was angry. And she was... So, honestly speaking, does a common person think like this? Actually, she is the wife of Lord Shiva, and she knew there's a problem. That has been going on for years and years. And when Shiva was not giving her permission, Shiva was actually telling very nicely. But ideal wife means who knows the heart of the husband and goes follows accordingly. And she became angry, and Prabhupada is the last weapon, is crying. And I heard this is a question I got. So she is also in 3 modes?
See, whenever we read the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam always gives extreme examples. Like for example, Bharat Maharaj, Prabhupada writes, he was in the early stage of bhava, tears rolling from his eyes, and then he became addicted to the deer. Now in the same manner, Ajamila, first of all his good qualities are explained. Shruta Sampanna, Dridavrata, such kinds of Sadachari and everything. Top class Brahmana, he had high Brahminical excellence. From that Brahminical excellence he fell down, correct now? You find examples like this. So in the Bhagavatam, similarly Hiranyakashipu, the extreme demon. You find Prahlad, extreme devotee. You find like this. Bhagavatam always gives extreme examples. And every other example in this world will fit below that. You will see that. That's one thing. Second thing, when great characters behave like that, like Arjuna appears to be an illusion in Bhagavad Gita, we should know that it's Lord's arrangement for us to learn some lessons in our life. Like Prabhupada writes 2 perspectives. One place he says Arjuna was a soft-hearted devotee, he says. And another place he says, mental attachment to bodily, relatives and everything. So that soft-hearted devotee is for Arjuna, and the material attachment relationship is for us. Because Arjuna is a pure devotee, he is behaving as if he is in illusion on the request of Krishna. Krishna has put him in that situation. Or like Shiva running behind Sati, running behind Mohini Murti, things like that. So, like Brahma Vimohan Lila, Brahma becoming illusioned, So, such great personalities cannot become illusioned unless, Lord has a plan. So that's what I would accept that all these different pastimes of very great personalities, when they do it, they are depicting one of our deficiencies in our heart for us to learn a lesson of material attachment. But when it comes to them, they are all very, very close associates of the Lord. She is herself in charge of the three gunas. Similarly, Shiva is himself in charge of ignorance. So Prabhupada says, a jail keeper is not a thief. Prabhupada says, like a police, for example, he may be going inside, coming outside and dealing with the thieves, but he is not a thief. He is in charge of the jail. Shiva doesn't become afflicted by ignorance, but he is a controller of mode of ignorance, like Prabhupada writes. Same manner with Sati also, she is controller of the three gunas. In one place Prabhupada writes, even the presiding deity of material energy, Durga, and even the first created living being, Atmaja, son of the Supreme Lord Brahma, even they have inquiries about the Lord. They are sitting, like Brahma is asking Lord Vishnu only questions, and Sati is asking questions to Shiva. That means even they do not know answers to certain questions. He says, Lord is so exalted, he says. They are asking questions. At the same time, in comparison to Jivas, their position is very exalted. So we cannot in any way compare our behavior and their behavior and count it just like what we do in this world. So because she self-immolated herself. Next moment she got another body subsequently. Like later on Shiva marries her again. Correct, no? In this world people lose the body, they become ghost. She didn't become ghost. Isn't it? When somebody was asking, if we are also troubled too much like Sati, can we commit suicide? I said, there's a big difference. He will become a ghost. She didn't become a ghost. She could take another form and again marry Shiva. Correct, no? So therefore, Jiva's situation is very despicable, very precarious. It's not, her position is certainly very, very exalted. Now, in one place she is doubting Rama, whether Rama is Supreme Lord or not. He looks like some crying Rajakumar like that. If she didn't do that, we will not get that pastime for us to learn the position of Ram. Who will tell us? These kind of pastimes are there which help us. Like if Shiva didn't run behind Mohini Murti, we will not know the power of material energy in the form of a woman. We will not know. So all these pastimes are arranged by the Lord in such a way that the Jivas can learn some valuable pointers, lessons for our life. That's my understanding. Thank you. So it was very nice being with all the devotees here at Farmington Hills, and also many others have joined online also here. I am thankful to ISKCON for the opportunity to whatever I have been reading and making notes. I had made it for myself for contemplation, and I thought this is a good audience I can share with. It was yesterday, the college program was extraordinary. We went, I think 2-3 college students had come together, I think. One was Ann Arbor and Toledo, is it? Toledo, and one more, I think. And also the church, so it was a good program, probably about 80-100 people are there, I think. It was such a good program, so many youths. What amazed me the most, I'll tell you, they are not just new people. Sometimes we gather in a college to come for a program. Many of them are already cultivated very nicely by ISKCON and along with this team of devotees here from here. And many grihasthas and brahmacharis are involved in this preaching. It's really, really good preaching. Yesterday, some of them told me they are chanting 8 rounds, some are chanting 16 rounds, and some are chanting at least some rounds. Many of them are properly situated devotees. So there is a very big hope in youth preaching I see here. One important thing, ISKCON, at least 4 of them asked me, 2 boys and 2 girls asked me, that we cannot express to you how happy we are. They said we are getting such nice association, but we only are very sad that we are not able to do anything. what can we do in return to Yugalakshmi Prabhu and his team? They asked me. So I told them that the best thing you can do is become a book distributor at least 2 hours per week. I told them begin with at least 1 or 2 hours per week. I said in case you cannot frequently go to temple and come, take a stock of books and keep in your room. And then the weekend go 2 hours and give it to your friends and collect their names and give it to Yugalakshmi Prabhu. Like that I told them. That's one thing I told them. One service that they can easily do on their own. They can do. And another thing I told them is there is something called Swabandhu Mandal, we call it. Swabandhu Mandal means your roommates are one category, and your blood relatives in America, another category. And your class, in the class, people sit around you and talk to you, third category. All these are called Swabandhu Mandal. So get some of those people and give it to Yugalakshmi Prabhu, and then he will arrange for them to be called, correct now? Called for the program and all. And those who come through word of mouth, they are the best people. They actually feel, my friend is practicing, so I will also practice. They become very strong. So which goes to show that many of them are eager for service now, although their life is very busy also, their studies and everything. But one of my goals in my travel in America, any place I go, I am looking to see that I assist the local devotees in making committed devotees, 16 rounders and those who go for initiation. That's one category. Another one is book distribution. If these two things are promoted in America in a big way, it's only a matter of time. A lot of Americans also will start coming to our temples. And because many Americans have received the books and become devotees. They have read the books, like even my spiritual master was telling that he collected some money and purchased Krishna book. And he used to tell a story about somebody who read Bhagavad Gita and started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, right now. So many people actually have got a book. So my humble request to all the devotees that let us try to promote Prabhupada's books, and not just books, but take their contacts and put them to the cultivation. Shoshyatam graham agatam. If you throw the seed, you should grow the sapling and make the tree and bring mangoes to home. Not that you just throw the seed and come away. So these are the two main goals of my youth preaching in my travel in America. And it was very great experience for me. I feel that good number of, just like Krishna House is producing many American boys and girls into devotees, very nicely they're doing our Kalakanda Prabhu. Similarly here I find Yugalakshmi Prabhu and the team are going to 6 colleges from Farmington Hills, and they have made many devotees, substantial number of devotees have made. Probably your number of devotees chanting youths may be around 100, 120 I think, right? You are connected in all the 6 colleges? All the 6 colleges. 67. And chanting at least 1 round will be many, I think. That will be more. Those who are chanting 8 rounds plus, they may be around 50, 60 I think, correct? 50? Youth. Little lesser, yeah. Very good. Many of them are showing very good symptoms of sincerity, seriousness. When I asked them questions, the answers they gave were all spiritual answers. I asked, what is the goal of life? One boy said, to get rid of anarthas, he was telling. Already he went to transcendental platform. I was thinking they are college students, new people, I expected some elementary answers they were, which goes to show that. I asked, what is what do you mean by empowerment? So one boy said, empowerment is to go back to Godhead. He said, you get empowered to go back to Godhead. Which goes to show that many of them have captured our ISKCON language already. It's a good sign. Keep doing it nicely. All the best for all of you. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki, Bhakta Vrinda ki.